What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Respect and Pray Show. I am your host, Miguel Mike Medina, Triple M. And on this episode, I have someone that I've known for almost 6 years now. He is one of my frequent collaborators, one of the most professional people that I've worked with. We both attended the same college. He's a director, cinematographer. He also does photography as well. And on this interview, you're gonna get to know more about him, where how it all started for him to where he is now, and hope you enjoy this interview because this is a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to present to you Tony McNally. Tony, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Good. So I got to start from the top, bro. What inspired you to get into theater and film?
I mean, I've always loved film since I was a child. Like my, my mom took us to the movies. My dad took us to the movies even more. We always watched movies with my dad, and we always talked to him about the movie, like how we felt about it. And it's always something that I was like passionate about. But I didn't have like a formal way of, you know, addressing that, because the schools that I went to didn't have anything like that, except for like when I started high school, there was a videography class and we did some little projects. And then all of a sudden, that class didn't exist anymore. You know how budget cuts are for public schools and everything. And there was no drama program at my school. So I didn't really get into acting formally until way later. But ever since I was a kid, my sister and I would like do improv and do these scenes, and we had characters, and we would just do that around the house. And you know, it was just crazy. We still do it to this day. Like we still have like random like improv, sessions. And I didn't take my first acting class until college. And I took three acting classes at Kingsborough. And then when I went to City College, I declared my major as theater and I got deeper into it. I actually got to perform in plays and stuff. So that's where it goes, and I took some film related classes there too.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, who do you consider your biggest influence in the business as you were growing up?
As I was growing up, I would say, as far as filmmaking, people that I looked up to, I would say Spike Lee, I would say Scorsese, and Spielberg, and then acting wise, Denzel, of course. Like he was the standard, He still is, and getting deeper into things, Samuel L. Jackson, who doesn't get enough. Samuel L. Jackson does not get enough credit as a character actor. Like he actually does. He actually is versatile. Will Smith, growing up watching Fresh Prince and seeing his evolution acting, because his acting school was that show. Like he learned on the job, and then he went into films and became this big, star. And he also doesn't get enough credit for his character work as far as Ali. He became Ali for that. Like yeah, just so many different people that I looked up to in the industry. Hopefully work with them one day.
Yeah, for sure, man. Those are good names you mentioned there, especially Spike Lee. Spike Lee played an instrumental part for me in terms of independent filmmaking because he made it viable to tell your story your way. So shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Spike Lee for that. Aside from acting, you're also a DP, a photographer as well. Do you take any photography classes in the past?
I I mean, it first started out as a hobby when I got my first digital camera. It was like a little Pentax point and shoot. You had to put like AA batteries in it. I would just go around, just snap, 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 and here and there, like I started to like actually compose my shots, because you know how you can just get crazy with it, and just especially with digital because you don't have to worry about buying film, so you're just snapping, snapping, snapping a lot. So I did that, And then I took one digital photography course, and part of that class was us printing out our work and putting it up, and then people, critiquing or like giving feedback on it. So that's when I started having more of an eye for what I put in the frame. So that's when I started like, okay, I have to be more intentional with what I shoot. And at the time, I actually had I had an obsession with like staircases. So like I had like a series of photographs of different staircases, stairwells, and stuff like that. I'm not sure what that was, where that came from, but yeah. And I just kept going from there, just learning on the job, basically learning on the job, learning how to shoot portraits and everything. And I just kept going from there. Yeah.
Theater or film?
Ooh. I you can't have one, you can't have film without theater, in my opinion.
I can respect that.
There's so many different things that you learn from theater that you can apply to film. Of course, you would have to adjust it because it's a different medium. But I feel like going straight into film and then going backwards, going into theater is more difficult than going from theater to film, in my opinion. As far as the structure of a crew in a theater production and the structure of a crew in the film production. Film production is more complex. So like you need that, it's good to have that foundation of how things work when you're working on a crew in a theater production. I've done that as well. I've worked as a stagehand. I've worked as in costume department. I've worked as a light board op. So like there's different things that you learn that's good to apply when you actually, learning how to work on a film set. And as far as acting, it's great to come from a theater background and go into film, and vice versa. Because there are actors, who can't really do theater. They're used to having that latitude to mess up on screen, and then cut. All right, we're gonna do another take. There's no takes in theater when you're on stage and there's a crowd, there's an audience. You just have to keep going. There's no cut and nobody's gonna see you mess up. No, everyone's gonna see you mess up. So it's good to have that pressure and being able to apply that strength in your acting and your craft to film.
I like this next one. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or Martin?
Ooh, yeah. I love both shows. I love Martin. I love Fresh Prince. It's a tough pick, but at the end of the day, I would have to say that Fresh Prince is way more consistent as far as the longevity. And even after they switched up Aunt Viv, which was a big, it was props to the actress that came in. It wasn't her fault, but they completely rewrote the personality of the character.
Yeah, and they had better storylines too.
Yeah, and I felt like they didn't trust the new actress enough, the new Aunt Viv enough to trust that she could play that personality, play that character. So like, she was only Aunt Viv in name to me. Like, she wasn't the same person. So it was weird, but overall, the show was still good. The show was still great. So, and it still went on. And with Martin, unfortunately, because of what happened behind the scenes between him and Tisha Campbell, and whatever happened, whatever the truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, the show suffered from it. And the show ended prematurely, because if it wasn't for all those issues, the show probably would have gone on at least 3 more seasons or something like that, But having a final season where they're never on screen together, that was just not even for the final episode. It was just weird. It was so weird. And I think that Fresh Prince addressed a lot as far as, because when it starts off, he's a teen, so you see a lot of issues being addressed. So you had some serious episodes. So I think culturally, Fresh Prince had a bigger impact. Like it showed like the struggle between um poor black people and rich black people, and how like the struggle you coming from being poor and then becoming rich, like do you lose yourself? What part of yourself do you lose? They showed that with Uncle Phil and his parents, and how, you know, he was ashamed of coming from a farm, you know, growing up on a farm and stuff like that. They showed the clash between, you know, Phil, Will and the family's different dynamics, because he came from a poor background, and they addressed drug use in a non-cliche way. They addressed gun violence powerfully. Like they had those serious moments. They addressed abandonment, when you had the episode when his father came and left, and you know, like that was powerful. That was so powerful. You know, Martin was a different type of show. Like Martin had some serious, you know, here and there serious moments, but overall it was like, this is straight, like it was straight up like comedy. It's great. It's great comedy. But I think as far as impact and consistency, Fresh Prince takes it.
Better record label in their peak,
Mm.
Rockefeller or Rough Riders?
That's tough. That's tough. Because Rough Riders, as far as standouts, as far as people that were actually successful, Rough Riders had DMX, 2 platinum albums in 1 year. They had Jadakiss, and they had Eve. Those are the 3 people. Those are the 3 rappers. Well, Swiss Beats as a producer, because he was a member, I would say. So you had those 4 people on Rough Riders that are heavy hitters. Everybody else like Dragon and there's some others. There's, you know, the other members of the Locks. They weren't. Styles P did have a, you know, he did have like a hit with like Get High, High, High. Like he had some stuff, but he wasn't up there like Jada to me. He didn't get that type of success that DMX had either. So DMX, Jada, Eve, Swiss Beats as a producer. And then Rockefeller, you got Jay-Z, of course. You got Kanye. Even before Kanye came in, Memphis Bleak had his moment a little bit. He was putting on a bit, you know, he had some hits. Then Kanye came through with something different. And then Dipset came through. Well, I could be messing around the order, because technically, yeah, Dipset actually came through it before Kanye was actually coming out with his stuff. But Dipset came through. I wasn't really a fan of Dipset, but they were big. They were huge. Cam was huge. So Jay-Z is the most consistent rapper of all time. So the top dude on Rockefeller is already above the top dude on Rough Riders to me. So above DMX overall. So boom, Jay-Z's up there. Oh yeah, Rockefeller had a female rapper to go against Eve, but Mill, but she kind of like, I don't know what happened. They had a falling out or whatever happened. So she was off the label eventually. But she could spit. She could spit, but she didn't have that impact. She didn't get up there like that. So Memphis had his moment, but he wasn't on Jadakiss level. Oh my God. I'm forgetting Beanie Siegel.
Beanie Siegel could have had a better career.
He could have had a better career. And then him and Jada actually went back and forth. They had like a battle song for song. Like they were actually going at it. And Jada won that. But it was tough though, because Beanie comes with it. Freeway was crazy with it. You know, I didn't really like him that much, but he was crazy. He had it. I think I gotta go with Rockefeller. If it wasn't for DMX, Jadakiss, and Eve, that's just 3. Like, but Rockefeller had Jay, they had Kanye, they had Beanie Siegel, they had Cam, they had the whole Dipset, they had the Young Guns, they had. Yeah, I gotta go with Rockefeller. I listen to more of them anyway. I listen to more Jay than anybody.
So. All right. Respect. That's a good one. And I'm glad you mentioned Emil, because I feel like true hip hop heads who knows hip hop they will know who Emil was because she
Mm-hmm.
had a good short run from 98 to 2000. And then from
Yeah.
there, it was like,
I
you
don't know
know,
what
but
happened.
she
Yeah.
was legit. She was good in that late 90s, early 2000s Rockefeller as the first female, I would say, for Rockefeller. She was
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah, it was like she, when she popped on the J record, she was doing her thing. Like, so for her to, she was just gone all of a sudden.
All
Yeah.
right, cool, cool. But I got a final question for you. Where can we follow you on social media?
I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. Instagram, I got more than one. So the most active one is Tony PM underscore. No, it's Tony underscore PM 87. So that's one of them. Another one is Tony McNally .acts, ACTS. And then I have another one with McNally Media. McNally Media is the one that I mainly have for like photography and some videography and promoting projects that I've done cinematography for. And TikTok is Tony McNally.a. Trying to get more active on there because now that's the new thing, Like you have to, when in this industry, you have to constantly keep on top of social media because the things change and how you engage with your audience and how you get people to like come watch your projects and everything. So yeah, those are the main social media outlets that I use. And also, if you're not following already, follow my friend's production company that I'm one of the producers on, Twist to the Story Productions. And on Instagram, it's Twist to the Story, PROD. So definitely follow that. We've been promoting some stuff. We got some more things coming your way. And yeah, just glad to be here, still grinding and making my way. And I'm glad to see you doing your thing consistently. You've always been one of those people that I've been like, yo, work ethic, grind, always respect that. And in our collaborations, as far as like the times we work together, it's always been on point. So yes, keep going.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. So there you guys have it. Make sure you follow O's accounts. I know it's a lot, but follow O's accounts.
Yeah.
It's all worth it. It's all worth it. But like I said, like Tony said, when we're having all the social media platforms, it's good to jump on all of them. I remember about a year or 2 years ago, we had this conversation, and it was getting to a point where it's getting overwhelming with so many social media accounts. But then I decided to think about it. It's like, let me just do all of this and put myself out there as much as possible. But guys, please follow Tony. Shout out to Twisted Story Productions. Always being consistent and putting out a bunch of content. So make sure you guys follow that as well. And but Tony, thank you for doing this for me. This platform, like I tell every guest that comes on the show, is about giving people their praise, their respect for their work that they're doing. There's people that they don't get too much exposure or interviews, and I decided to use this platform to do that. So I salute you. Keep working and keep doing your thing, man.
Thank you. You too, man.
Well, that does it for this episode of the Respect and Praise Show. Stay tuned for the next episode and make sure you hit that subscribe button, all right? And as always, have mutual respect, mutual love, and mutual admiration. So until next time.